Hello and welcome back again to the Pixel Street Podcast, episode 215. Wavelength decided to update again, so that means I had to redo all my shit. And we talked for like a solid minute, and it went away. We talked about Y2K, about how people probably think that it happened, but it got stopped by the government because they solved it really quick. And I said there's probably people out there that think it did happen, that we all died, and now this is a simulation. Um,
And
yeah,
also, this
so
is our
that's where
first
we're at.
podcast of 2023.
2K23, right? So
Yeah, Pixel
we're
Street
here.
Podcast 2K23 on sale this fall.
On sale this fall.
Yeah,
It's mainly just a roster update.
it pretty much is. It's the same thing that you've had for the
Our
last 7 years.
it's the same people. Our stats just go down every year.
Yeah, we're aging, so they go down.
Yeah. Our speed goes down, agility goes down. It all goes down.
Yeah, that'll be $70. Thank you.
Yeah. But anyway, if you did not know, you can follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street. Check out our pin tweet there to join the Discord server. There is an invite link in the pin tweet. Yeah, come talk about games with us. Spence recently was playing through Sonic and needed some advice and had some opinions on the game. So,
Yeah,
and I appreciated how conscious he was about putting spoilers, right? Because he made it so that you had to click on the spoiler to see it,
yeah.
which I always appreciate when people do. So,
What do you know? We have good people in our Discord. One of them could
not
be
all of
you.
them. Not all
Not
of
all
them.
of them. No, no.
I'm
Some of them are just
John.
complete
I'm
dog
a
trash.
real piece of shit. I
I
used to
know.
be a real piece of shit. No,
The only reason
that's
you're still around here is because you're the one that streams the podcast.
there's a show called I Think You Should Leave on Netflix, and there's a whole skit on it where he just talks. He constantly is telling people he's like, I used to be a real piece of shit, and they're like, okay, man, like cool, and he just like keeps talking about it. But yeah, that's me. I used to be a real piece of shit, so
All right.
you should join my Discord and find out. But yeah, anyway, this week we're going to be talking about our predictions for video games in 2023. Some of our most anticipated games that we know are coming out in 2023.
Yeah.
Um, and a Naughty Dog blog post. So, yeah, let's just get right into it, John. Let's talk about predictions. I did
All
not
right.
write any down, I just have a few in my head that it formulated. It's worth noting these can be anything video game related, right? Like, it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
like, I think that Bungie's going to announce this game. It can just be
Yeah.
whatever you want.
Anything related. Before we get into that, though, I actually went back to last year's episode where we did our predictions
Oh,
to
boy.
look up and see what we got right and wrong. We also did this with a guest at the time, Chris Waterman, who was really cool at the time. I'm kind of sad that we didn't get him on again last year. But
I have no idea what I said, so this is
all
interesting.
right. Well, should I go through yours or mine first? Because we at the time we both had 4 predictions.
Go ahead. I don't care. It doesn't matter.
All right. I'll start with me. My first one was the next Kingdom Hearts game would be revealed. I was right on that, but I was also kind of wrong because I said it wouldn't be a main entry. So give me like half a point on that. I said Saints Row will be one of the worst games and put Volition in trouble.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's true.
yeah, yeah, they're like a
More or
part of
less.
they're a part of Gearbox now. So yeah,
Oh yeah, they got eaten.
hmm I said Atreus will be the reason Kratos dies in Ragnarok, and he will be the main character going forward. We'll say I'm wrong on that because we don't know about the
If
next
he's a
game,
main
but
character.
we know Kratos doesn't die in Ragnarok. I don't think that's a spoiler. And I said Overwatch 2 will not fully release this year, but 5v5 will come to the game, and I was right about that. So we'll say 3 out of 4 for me. Joel, you said PSVR 2
Oh,
will
let's hear it. I
release
was
this
close.
year. You
I was
close.
close.
It's in February, right?
Mm-hmm. Like
Yeah,
a
so
little more than a month away.
you were close. Skate 4 gameplay revealed. I'm gonna give you that one because they did have that like really early look at it, and they did show some gameplay in it. So I'll give you that one.
And they showed more on Christmas. It
Oh,
was
did
just
they?
like it
I
wasn't
didn't.
anything big. I think it was like a 10 to 15-second thing that was just like somebody dressed in Santa gear skateboarding.
Gotcha. The Last of Us factions revealed that they officially announced it, but they didn't show anything off about it. We'll actually get into that here in a little bit. And then you said a Breath of the Wild sequel will have a special Switch version. Obviously, at the time we didn't know it's called Tears of the Kingdom. It didn't happen in 2023 or in 2022, but it is happening in
It's
2020.
announced. They got announced. I get a point for that.
Was it officially announced or was it still just leaked?
I guess yeah, it is leaked. But I mean, like,
It's
it might
official.
as well be officially announced.
That looks very real. I would be
Yeah, that
shocked
picture.
if that is fake.
You know what's funny is like a similar thing happened with the Elite Series 2 core controller, the white one,
Hmm.
where like people like had pictures of the box like months and like probably a year before it was even announced. And
Hmm.
like there everybody's like, "Oh, when's this white Elite Series 2 going to come out?" And then like they finally announced it and it's like, "Wow, I remember seeing that like a year ago."
Yeah, they just held on to it for so long. Yeah. All right. So now we're gonna talk about our predictions for 2023. We did pretty good in 2022. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pretty surprised at how
Yeah.
well we did
Oh, my first one it could be very bad
there.
for
Could
this
it?
next year. You ready?
All
So
right.
my first prediction is that we're gonna see some sort of announcement of whatever this Halo Battle Royale is by the end of the year.
Okay.
Like I don't think it's coming out this year. I just think that they're gonna show something, whether it's like them saying, certain affinity is working on this and this is where they're at right now. Whether it's some sort of like small trailer, or whether it's them saying like, "Hey, certain affinity started working on this, and we are pivoting to Unreal Engine 5 because this, that, or the other thing." Because that's been a rumor that's been going around that they're abandoning the Infinite engine and switching over to
For the
Unreal
battle
Engine
royale
5
or for actually Halo Infinite.
for both. That's the
Oh
rumor.
wow,
Yeah. The
wow.
rumor has been that they are just completely abandoning that new engine that they made, the Slip Space engine.
That that is insane if that
Which is,
actually
yeah,
happens.
no, that's a long shot rumor that has been going around for like months and months now. But like nobody has come out, because normally if shit like that is like rumored, somebody will come out and be like, no, that's not true, right? Like right
Hmm.
then and there. But I haven't seen anything of anybody that works at Bungie saying like definitively, no, that's not true. Um,
Yeah, but to be honest, hardly anything comes out of 343 Industries, not Bungie. I
yeah,
almost said
343. Sorry.
Bungie too. Yeah, it'll give them. It'll take at least like 8 months for them to talk about that. So
Hey John,
we'll
you,
see.
you know what does come out of 343 Industries? Employees, because they're all fucking quitting.
Oh, got him. Take
But
that,
yeah,
you $1 million company.
I think we see whatever certain affinity has been working on, whether it's a battle royale or who knows. Maybe at this point they just, if they are switching to Unreal Engine 5, certain affinity is just like working heavily on that port. I guess you could say. I don't even know what is the technical term for that. I'm not sure, but
I would hope that it's a separate game. Like it could be somewhat connected to Halo Infinite, but I hope it's not on the same client. Kind of like
oh, it will
Wars.
be. No,
I
it
I
will
hope
be.
not. I hate that shit.
I no,
I I
I
don't
know you
like it
hope
in
it won't
Warzone.
be. I guarantee you it will be because like
Yeah,
they want the stats of saying 5 million people downloaded Halo Infinite
yeah,
on this day because of the, you know what I mean?
yeah. Nah,
This
it's
the
fair.
same way like Warzone 2, I'm sure
I hate
like
Warzone 2 for that.
yeah, but I'm sure their stats have like benefited from like people playing Warzone 2 and then seeing in the main menu, "Oh, I can just click here and buy Warzone or Modern Warfare 2." I'm sure
Yeah,
they make a lot of money that way, but
yeah.
what are you going to
All
do?
right. So your first one is a Halo Infinite Battle Royale coming out this year, which
No,
I like
no,
that.
I didn't say coming
Or
out this year. I
revealed this year.
revealed, and I didn't
I like.
say it was definitively the battle royale. I think it's just whatever certain affinity is working on.
Gotcha. I like that idea. I feel like I was hearing rumors that it would be announced in like November, and then I completely forgot about it. So, and everyone at Xbox keeps saying this is going to be a big year, and all we know about so far is a couple games from Bethesda, and that's it. Um, so I'll actually pick up right there because my first prediction is that the following games will get release dates this year. Not necessarily released, but we'll at least have a better idea of when they're coming out. Hellblade 2, State of Decay 3, Fable, and Forza Motorsport. The rest of them will have no a clear idea on when they're coming out still. So Perfect Dark and the rare game Everwild. So those games, we just won't hear anything about them.
Fair enough.
Sad, right? Yeah. I the Fable one is really just me hoping because man, I want that game. I want to see more of that game so much. I want to have a good idea of what's coming out with it. And of course, State of Decay 3 as well. Forza is a pretty safe one, I think. I mean, that was revealed 2 years ago, and I was amazed that Horizon 5 came out before that. At
Yeah.
this point, it's really weird that the Forza Motorsport game isn't out yet. That's what it's called, right? It's just Forza Motorsport, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
As for Hellblade 2, that was the very first game revealed for the Xbox Series X. We got a pretty big look at gameplay last year, I want to say. Was it during like E3 time? Maybe. Um,
I don't remember.
I don't remember exactly when either, but I remember seeing it and it looks gorgeous and they've got to be getting close to bringing that game out. So, if I had to guess, okay, we know Starfield is coming out in the first half of 2023. My guess would be like March or April. We know Redfall. I would say Forza would probably be October-ish. Um, Hellblade would be your November
Wait, do
game.
we know Redfall?
We
Just a
just know it's
rumor.
coming out this year. That's it. I think it's
Okay.
set for the summer.
The rumor that was out was like beginning of May, I think was the
That's
one
right.
that was
That's
going
right.
around
That
over
was
the weekend.
yeah, that was a recent rumor. I'll be super happy for that. Um, right after my birthday. But so yeah, we've got those, and then I would say Hellblade 2 would be your like November holiday game, and then into next year would be the beginning of hype for Fable, which I would hope would be in the first part of 2024.
You hope, man.
I
I
hope.
hope so. Like
I mean, we've only been hoping for these games for 5 years, 4 years now. So
so the other thing, going back to my Halo prediction about the Unreal Engine rumors, right? Over the weekend there were rumors circulating that Fable was switching engines as well to Unreal Engine from what they're working off of the Forza engine, right? I forget what
yeah,
that engine's called. But there was a rumor circulating and then somebody from GameIndustry.biz quote tweeted it like a few hours in and just said this is not true with a period.
mm,
And like that's somebody who like works for one of these like video game news outlets who clearly has some sort of inside knowledge or knows somebody who works for the company that has definitively said that. And
yeah.
like back to 343, they didn't as far as I know nobody came out and said this is not true. This is not happening.
Real quick, Loops did correct me in the YouTube chat. Um, it is actually set to arrive sometime this spring. Forza is so.
Oh, cool. Hey, I got my racing wheel. I'm dying to use it on that game. I tried it with Forza Horizon 5, the racing wheel, and something felt off, maybe because of the arcadey style, and I was trying to use it in the Hot Wheels DLC, so it kind of felt weird with all the
Mm,
jumps and stuff.
gotcha. But yeah, if anything, man, I just need to see State of Decay 3 and Fable from Xbox this year. Those are the only two that I'm like frothing at the mouth for.
So moving on, my next prediction, I think PSVR 2 is going to come out in a month, but I think that it's going to be very okay in terms of what like software is on it or available for it for at least the first year or 6 months or so because like we, I've only seen so many games announced for it so far, right? And
There's there's a
sorry, go
big
ahead.
list of games announced.
There is, but like I'm looking through it literally right now, and it's all stuff I've never heard of. Like,
Mhm.
have you ever heard of Blacktop Hoops, Black Trail,
Yeah.
Distortion VR? It's like these VR games, like they're such cash grabs to where like they want the user to like click through a store, right, and say these are the VR games. Like I was just playing my Oculus earlier, and I was looking through the store, and there are so many generic ass named games where it's just like it'll just be called like basketball VR and the
Mm.
whole thing is just throwing a ball through a hoop. That's all you can do in the game. And I like looking through this list. It seems like there's a lot of that. Like, granted, there's a lot of like good looking games. Like the Horizon game looks cool. Um, was it called Firewall? Yeah, Firewall Ultra was announced for it, which is I think just like the definitive edition of the Firewall game that was on PSVR one. No Man's Sky, pretty cool game. I'm sure, and it's gonna look better than it did on the PSVR one just because the screen's nicer. Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil Village, Star Wars, but like where's Beat Saber? You know what I mean? Like I get that Meta owns it now, but
That
like
is
they
that is
want your money.
that is shocking that Beat Saber hasn't been announced yet for it.
Yeah, and so like that's I don't know. I feel like it's gonna suffer the same thing PSVR one did, where like yeah, it's gonna sell really well in the long run, but I think right at the beginning, like it's not gonna do great because there's not enough software out there. At least big hitting software out there.
Do we know the price for it yet?
I fucking should. I have it pre-ordered. I think it's 500.
550. Okay.
Is it? Hold on. I think it's 550 with the game. Oh no, it's
Gotcha.
550, 600 with the game.
Yeah, man, that's right. Yeah, I forgot that it was actually more expensive than the PS5.
I mean, I
That's a
get
hard
it.
sell, man.
I get it just because of like
Yeah.
what VR is now. But yeah. And the other thing is if you go on like this is like if you go on PlayStation's website right now and pre-order it, you're getting it in their launch window still, February 22nd to 28th. So that's another sign that like people who are interested in it, like me, like Chad, like Jerica, like we're gonna get it because we like VR and we
Mhm.
like PlayStation stuff. But your average PlayStation gamer probably is not picking this up like as soon as it comes out.
No, no, absolutely not. When it,
They'll pick it up for $100 less in a year, and it's gonna come with Horizon and Beat Saber or something else.
yeah, it's just too niche. That's it. VR is just so niche, and also it makes me sick, and I'm not doing that. So, all right, moving on. My next prediction is we will get a look at the Twisted Metal reboot game, and it will be highly disappointing, and I'll be very sad because I want a very good Twisted Metal game, but it's not gonna do the things that I want it to do. I bet it's gonna be something pretty lame, in all honesty, because it's rushed and not completely utilized. I hope I'm wrong on that, but I just have a bad feeling about it. I really want it to be good. I want it to be great. I want to enjoy it. I want to play it a ton. But I just so many rumors of them first like getting the Destruction All Star guys to work on it, and then them canning that idea and then giving it to someone else. I don't even think they announced who was making it now, but that was like a year ago, and they're really trying to get it out with the Twisted Metal TV series that's coming out, and that's just going to be, I don't know, that spells disaster to me. That's
Yeah,
really all
I
I have to say.
yeah I don't know. I hope the TV show ends up being good, but we did literally know nothing about it other than
Yeah,
like Will Arnett
Anthony Mackie.
plays but Will Arnett's the voice, right? Or something like
Well,
that.
Will Arnett is Sweet Tooth, and Anthony Mackie is a new character, and I think he's the
That's
lead.
right.
Yeah,
That's right. Yeah, we'll see.
yeah.
My next prediction is that we see GTA 6 in some way, whether it's just like a splash
Really,
screen or like a little cinematic trailer giving us a hint of what the story's gonna be. Because like we
another
saw all
massive
those
leak.
leaks, we because we saw all those leaks, right? Like that was like 4 months ago now, 5 months ago maybe. Um, and like it looked like a pretty like far along game for what it was, right? Like there was still a bunch of dev stuff. There was some choppiness and stuff here and there in those leaks if you saw them. I'm sure you could still look them up if you really want to see them, but I mean, it looks like GTA 5. So it's not very surprising, but I definitely think that we see a reveal of some sort, similar to how when the Rockstar logo popped up at that PlayStation conference, and all it was that next gen GTA 5 is coming to PS5, which was like it was such a buzzkill because like it popped up, everybody got all excited, and it's like it just showed like Michael, right, or Trevor, or somebody from the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that we see something from GTA 6 this year.
I hope you're right. I don't think you are. I think we don't see anything on GTA 6 until at
Come
least
on, man! It's a
2024.
10-year anniversary. 10-year anniversary of GTA 5. What better
Yeah,
way than to announce a new game?
they'll announce a mobile version of GTA 5. They'll
With big head mode, like they all
yeah,
look like little cartoons.
they'll they'll announce a new next gen edition for you to spend $50 on on PS5 and Xbox Series X. That is really just like the most disappointing like next gen update for me because it makes you transfer your character over to the new version so you don't have it on the old one.
You
Well,
can't go back.
my friends recently have been playing the Xbox One version, so I had to make a brand new character and I have none of my stuff to play with them. It's so lame, man.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, I think the next Nintendo console will not be revealed this year, but we are going to be hearing about it all year long through leaks and rumors. I think a lot of it will be focused on it being the Switch 2, another portable console hybrid. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think it'll have a bigger screen or just like be a bigger tablet in general and be a little more meaty so that it has a more battery. Um, yeah, that's about all I got for it.
Do you?
I do think it will be backwards compatible with all original Switch games.
That's what I was gonna ask. Do you think Joy Cons fit on it seamlessly? Like
Yes,
you think it's just wider?
I think they will have improved Joy Cons. Like they'll have a new version of Joy Cons, but the ones you have now will also fit on there.
Okay. I don't know if I really have one. Maybe Xbox gets rid of games with gold because of how pointless it is. That's
It
not really a prediction from me. That's just
kind of a why aren't
like
you doing this yet?
yeah.
You
Either
have
make
Game
it
Pass.
better or get rid of it completely. Like
It
it's
really,
terrible.
yeah. They announced the games with gold a few days. Well, it's already January 4th. Of course, they already had it, but I looked at them and I instantly forgot what they were because they were so forgettable. All right, I have one more prediction here. The Xbox and Activision deal will go through, and it will happen right before E3 time. At E3 or whatever Xbox's summer conference is, we will get an explosion of Game Pass games, including World of Warcraft for PC players. So,
That dude, I'm waiting for that, John, because
mhm,
I love World of Warcraft, but not enough to pay what I think $15 a month to play it because like
yeah,
I'm not gonna get that into it, but I would probably play it a few times a month if the subscription was included with my
Game Pass,
Xbox,
yeah,
yeah, Game Pass
100%.
account.
I'm with you. If World of Warcraft comes to PC Game Pass this year, you and me are both creating characters, and we're going in. All right,
Here's another prediction, John. I
all right,
think that regardless if this deal goes through, we still see because like that relationship is clearly there between Activision and Xbox right now, right? Like even if the deal doesn't go through, maybe Xbox throws them a bunch of money to say, "Hey, bring a bunch of your games to to Game Pass," right? Maybe not new games, you're not going to get the new Call of Duty and stuff, but like you'll like they have so many games like
oh, so
that they could
many,
just dump onto Game Pass and make money for.
yeah,
So I
absolutely.
think that is still a feasible thing that could happen.
100%. Loops did put up one prediction in our YouTube chat. He thinks that Avowed will get released this fall or winter, which yeah, I mean we haven't seen anything on that since it was revealed in 2021. I want to say I would be pretty surprised, especially with Starfield coming out this year. But I mean, Obsidian has been putting out. They've been doing the Insomniac thing lately of like just putting out banger after banger really quickly here recently with Pentiment and The Outer Worlds wasn't too long ago. What was there was another game that they had. Grounded. Grounded was really good. So yeah, I could see them come out with Avowed as a surprise release this year, but it would be surprising to me.
Yeah.
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 Moving on. Moving on, Joel.
Yeah, let's talk about some of our most anticipated games this year. As
Yeah,
if like we
baby.
as if like this hasn't like kind of been a topic for the past few months just cuz like
You know what, Joel, 2022 was supposed to be so much better than it was. Okay? Let us have this. Let us enjoy the prospect of 2023 being one of the best video game years ever before everything gets delayed again, okay? Uh
Hogwarts
2020.
Legacy, John, it's coming.
Hogwarts Legacy. I
It
cannot
looks
wait.
great. It looks
It looks
great.
so good. The only downside is no Quidditch, but I'm holding out hope that there will be a future release for that, whether it's a DLC or a its own separate game. I'm holding out hope for that at some point. But this is
Did you ever play the Quidditch game on like GameCube and PS2?
no, I
Oh,
didn't.
I played it a lot and it's bad. Like
Yeah.
I cannot see any way where they make that into like a modern sports game where like
Mhm.
you I can't see it being even worth like a $40 game if they redid it. It has to be added onto this game
Gotcha.
because like it just like it sounds like a good idea, but it's really not
Hard to
great.
implement. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hogwarts Legacy, this is the Harry Potter game I have been waiting for since I was a kid. Like I've always wanted to just like make my own character, go to class and do all this wizard stuff. Man, it's going to be so cool. I cannot wait for it. Besides that, of course, at the very top of my list, The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. That's coming out in May, I want to say right after my birthday, and I mean, what else can I say? I am a total Zelda nerd. I've got a big Link tattoo on my arm. I've got all this Zelda stuff behind me. I'm That's going to become my life for at least a month where I'm pretty much just playing that and exploring everything. Yeah, there's just nothing more I want. There's nothing I want more than Tears of the Kingdom this year. It's been a long time coming, and I cannot wait to play it.
Java Con Leche in the chat, the Twitch chat says 2022 was a great year for indies. I'd
It
happily
was,
take another year of that. So,
yeah.
another game I am super excited for, Final Fantasy 16.
Mm, okay.
I think that game's going to be amazing. I love Final Fantasy. I loved Final Fantasy 15, even with its weird like hallway mission that everybody fucking hated, myself included. I could not stand that mission at all. And it people hated it enough, John, to where they patched the mission to make it easier because it was so annoying, just running through a maze pretty much. But yeah, I'm very excited for Final Fantasy 16.
Nice. I actually have to pull up a list here. Atomic Heart is coming to Game Pass, I know, in February, and that's a game that looks really cool to me. I don't know anything about it, honestly, but I've seen very little of it, and I'm like, okay, I'm interested in that. That's a game I definitely want to try out. It's a single player FPS game, and I don't know, it looks cool. It's definitely something to look out for.
Diablo 4, big
Mm,
release, right? Everybody loves Diablo 3.
yes, I'll be on
So
that.
yeah. Destiny
Diablo
2
4.
Lightfall coming
Yeah,
out at
gotta
the end of
get your
February, I
Destiny
believe.
in.
Got to get that Destiny in, John. Got to get that Destiny in. Star Wars Jedi Survivor, also super pumped for that. I love the first game, so
It's finally happening. Dead Island 2 in April. I am.
maybe,
Oh,
maybe.
maybe. It might be pushed back again. Come on. We all know that it might happen, but it's finally happening and it looks good. Well, it looked good from what they showed. Hopefully, it's good. I really love the first one. Um, Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. I've been kind of lukewarm on it, but after that Batman reveal at the Game Awards, I'm 100% in, and I cannot wait to play that.
John, you think you're gonna play Resident Evil 4 when it comes out?
Uh, I don't know. Part of me wants to go back and finish the original before I play the remake. I do love the Resident Evil games, even though I'm not much of a horror guy. Um, I don't know. That's something I'm gonna have to really consider as it gets closer.
Yeah, I like I'm a big baby, so I won't touch it, but I know that people think that that's like their favorite game of all time, so
Yeah,
I
at the
I
very
I don't
least,
know.
I'll definitely watch let's plays of it. So I'll get through the whole story and everything that way if I don't buy it. But yeah, I definitely think it's gonna be a heavy contending game
John,
for
after 5 years of delays, Skull and Bones is coming out in March.
no, it's not. No, no. Loops wants it, I know, but it's not happening. Um, let's see, what else do we have here?
Street Fighter 6.
Man, who cares about Street Fighter? Assassin's Creed Mirage is a return to the original Assassin's Creed playstyle. That one will be interesting to see. I'll definitely pick up that because it's been a while. Recently, I've been playing Odyssey, and it man, that game is so good. Alan Wake 2, if that actually ends up coming out this year, that is going to be a big, exciting one for people who like Remedy games like me. Hopefully, we'll also hear about the next Control games that come out. I know that they're working on a sequel and also a multiplayer game.
Oh,
So, hearing about
Starfield.
those,
We forgot about
Starfield,
Starfield.
yeah,
I'm excited to play that. Like
yeah,
that's a game I wouldn't be as excited for if I had to pay for it, right? Like that's
hmm
just one of the Game Pass things where it's like I like the idea of what they're doing. I like Fallout games and all that, but it's like I wouldn't be as excited for it if it wasn't like kind of like quote unquote free for me, right? But
hmm
like the fact that it's like I have no investment really into it outside of my Game Pass subscription, which at this point I feel is a necessity to me, is a Game Pass subscription just because of how many games I play. Um, yeah, I'm excited for Starfield.
yeah. Starfield has me. I'm just kind of waiting for it. Obviously I'm gonna play it right when it comes out because of Game Pass and everything, but it's not something that I'm like particularly excited for at the moment. But once it comes out, if it's anything like Fallout and Elder Scrolls, which it will be, it's gonna completely capture me for a while.
John, what about Arc 2 featuring Vin Diesel?
Fuck Ark. Fuck that shit. I am not
Dude,
playing that.
I okay, I'm not a big nerd about these survival games, but Ark, something about it. I used to love just like hopping into because Loops was so into Ark. He would play hours and
I
hours, and I used to love hopping in there like every few days, seeing what he's doing, what he's working on, checking out his dinosaurs, and then like cutting down a bunch of trees, helping him gather stuff for some stupid task he wanted to do, and then I was fucking out of there. But
I
I enjoyed checking it out.
I despise Ark. I hated that game
Yo,
so
that game
much.
it runs so bad. Probably still runs really bad on Xbox. But
Yeah.
I remember playing it on the Xbox One and it ran like garbage. Spider-Man 2, John, coming out this year.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that. I'm very excited for that. Well, everyone's excited for that. Um, Earthblade. This is the game that was recently announced at the Game Awards. It's made by the same people that made Celeste, so definitely look out for that game. Hades 2 will be one that a lot of people are excited for. Me, not so much, but I know a lot of people are gonna be in on that. Oh, what else do we got? Pikmin 4 is a big release for the 12 Pikmin fans out there. Probably pissed off someone with that.
Definitely did.
um. All right. I think that's about all I got. There are some big games coming. Oh, Horizon Forbidden West, Burning Shores DLC. That is definitely something I am looking forward to as well. So yeah, there is a lot set to come out this year. Now, exactly how much of this actually comes out, we'll see. But who knows? Um, there's also a lot
The
that we don't know about. There could be
the
surprise
thing is,
announcements.
I feel like a lot of what we are talking about is we're actually excited for is all stuff that's like first 6 months of the year, right?
hmm
So for most of that stuff to get pushed out into the following year is kind of like that's a massive delay, right? At that point, it's not a small delay. It's not like, a month or two. Like we're talking like a 6 month delay plus.
Yeah,
So I mean,
which delays are
I'm pretty
gonna happen.
hopeful. I'm
Delays
hopeful
are
that
gonna
most of
happen.
those come out.
Yeah, and also, I don't know what the name was that you said in chat that was looking forward to indie games this year. There's gonna be some indie surprises. There always are anymore. I mean, Vampire Survivors and Cult of the Lamb. I had never heard of those games before I actually played them, and those two both ended up on my top 5 games of the year last year. So,
I mean, Vampire Survivor was out on PC for a while,
well, I didn't hear about it until it came to Xbox, and I played it there.
but it was out for a while.
I don't care. It released in my mind last year.
But it was out for a while, you know.
No, it wasn't. It was early access. It doesn't count.
John, talk to me about Naughty Dog.
All right, Neil Druckmann put up a blog post. Uh, he's it's just titled "Reflecting on a Big Year to Come for The Last of Us." Hey, did you guys know that A Last of Us is a popular series? Well, here's Neil Druckmann here to remind you that The Last of Us Part 1 came out last year. There's a PC version coming out this year. This is also the 10-year anniversary of the initial release of The Last of Us, even though it's been released multiple times afterwards now. And he kind of hinted at some Last of Us multiplayer game stuff coming up. He did show off a little uh, concept art, which actually looks pretty cool here. Give me a second. I will post that in the chat for you to put up on the stream. There's the link to that. And it looks good. I mean, it looks very Last of Us. There's this big cruise ship that two people are walking towards. Really, my big question is like, what do we think this game is going to be? Because I think it's going to be a two-player co-op game. But do we think this is going to be a PvE thing, a PvP?
The
Like,
way
I,
that the way that they were talking about it when they initially talked about it made it sound like it was going to be PvP in some way.
right?
Because like everything that they're saying is like them, like, didn't they reference what was the multiplayer mode in the first one? What was that called?
Factions, I think. I think it was
The
called
same
Faction.
thing? Is it the same name?
Maybe. Let me check. I'll look it up.
But either way, like this is supposed to be their new multiplayer game, so, or their new multiplayer mode for The Last of Us Part 2. Um technically, I guess, technically it's its own thing, but yeah, so I don't know. I could see it being very similar to like, fuck, what is that game that I'm thinking of? The Division, where you have that game mode where you go in, get supplies, and extract it, or
The
like
Dead Zone or
escape.
something.
Yeah, the Dead Zone, or like Escape from Tarkov, or DMZ now in Modern Warfare 2, or Warzone 2. Sorry. Um, so yeah, I could see it being similar to those game modes because that seems like what's popular right now. And when you think of a game in like a post-apocalyptic type world, so I
What
don't
I
know.
would what I would hope for is like it's more Division than those other ones, because the Division, when you go in, you would have like those dead zone areas where it's a bunch of people coming in and like fighting over supplies and stuff. I would hope if you weren't in there that you could just like go through areas with just your friend without worrying about other people coming in and just destroying you. I
I
know.
hope it's more. I hope it's more diverse than the Division though, because I
Oh
remember
yeah,
that was like that multiplayer was so like boring after like a day to me because it was like, okay, go in there, we're gonna go kill that same boss that's in that same building every time, and then we're gonna extract it at the same place we always extract it because it's the
yeah.
closest one to it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with all games like that. With DMZ has the same issue, I think, is it's just repetitive and boring overall. Um yeah, I'm really curious to see how that game is going to turn out. Obviously I'm going to play it because it's The Last of Us and it's going to be one of the biggest games of the year, but it's a very odd move for Naughty Dog because they've always been a single player developer. What they're going to be doing with this multiplayer game is, I don't know. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, they had multiplayer in the first game, and people were upset that they didn't have one in the second game. And I think this is kind of like what their answer to that is.
Yeah. Well, I think this was initially supposed to like be a part of Last of Us Part Two, but then it just kind of became its own thing, if I remember right. It just kind of grew and grew, and they're like, "Hey, you know what? Let's make our own game, or make a separate game out of this." So yeah, we'll see. I hope there's enough PVE in there, so it's not just constant. PvP things are fun and I love them, but that kind of like fight for your resources kind of thing is starting to get very drawn out. I feel. I don't know. I'm not crazy about it, but whatever.
Cool. Sorry, I'm sidetracked with
Are
the
you
Twitter.
still looking at B&B stuff on
At
the
what?
podcast, Joel? On your B&B stuff, Airbnb, whatever it's called,
Airbnb. Yeah, yeah. I was.
Airbnb.
Anyway, John, take us through the quick news.
All right, quick news. Up to 60% of Madden 23 franchise saves have been lost due to a data storage error by EA. That sucks. Makes me very glad I don't play Madden anymore because franchise is the one area that I would be playing. And
You
I
got to
love like,
imagine that, like, the
oh
amount
man,
of data that was lost here, right? Because there are
that's a
people who
lot.
like, there are people who are probably 10 seasons deep playing with players that, were born 3 years ago in real life, right? Just some
Hmm.
made up names that it's just like generating top prospects and stuff.
Well,
Man,
not only that,
that's gotta suck.
not only that, there the online franchises, like those were my favorite things, is just going through franchises with friends and everything. Like that is a ton of fun and that's a big investment. And just for that all to be taken away because EA fucked up, man, that sucks. Uh Neil Druckmann says there is more story to tell in The Last of Us Part 3. No duh, but he has warned people to be wary of insider info. That was during a New Year tweet
What?
from
Wait,
him.
what does that mean? Like somebody's
I
been
don't know.
leaking shit?
Apparently, I haven't seen anything, but
That
apparently,
it's almost worse for him to say like, "Hey, somebody's been leaking stuff about Last of Us Part 3." Like,
yeah, I haven't seen anything.
I would say that's worse because like anything I hear now, I'm be like, "Oh, maybe this is what they were talking about."
Yeah, but yeah, he was like specifically talking about it with Last of Us Part Three and not the multiplayer game. I don't know. It was odd.
Weird.
Wizards of the Coast has canceled 5 unannounced D&D games. This is actually probably for the best because most of these D&D games are pretty bleh, not great. Um, so yeah, I really want a very good D&D game. I've been hearing good things about Baldur's Gate 3, so I might look into that when it releases, or if it's already out. I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Battle of the Gods event is coming to Overwatch 2 on Thursday. This is a new free for all mode, deathmatch mode, where you get to choose from a selection of heroes and they all have like god powers. So, like, Junker Queen is Zeus and can zap people with lightning. Roadhog is a Cyclops that can grow really big. There's some really cool stuff in there. I'm very excited to play that. You should definitely hop on and give it a try as well. Multiple ZeniMax studios, including Bethesda Softworks, id, and Arcane, have unionized. Microsoft have willingly recognized their union. This is good news, in my opinion. I am all for more gaming companies being
These are
unionized.
these are big companies that unionize too.
Huge.
Like it's not
Yeah,
like these are indie studios. So
it,
this is
it's
a good
finally
step forward.
it's finally starting to spread out from just the Activision stuff. Raven Software was the most recent one, and there was another one before that. But yeah, it's good to see these starting to spread out. Uh, Things were bad enough for a long time there that I think it's definitely a good sign that these companies are unionizing. Next up, Payday 3 is still set to release this year. And if you weren't paying attention and didn't know, hey, guess what? Payday 3 is set to release this year. They put out a Q&A. They're like, hey, here's everything you need to know about Payday 3 so far. And it was just like, it's set to release this year. The original cast are back. It's in New York City. And then the rest of them were all just like, we haven't announced this yet. We haven't announced this yet. We haven't announced this yet. Whatever. Uh, last up on quick news, according to a leaker, there are 3 additional Silent Hill games in development, and that seems like a bit much for me. Um, Obviously, I'm not going to play them because I'm a scaredy boy who's not attached to Silent Hill, but we just got Silent Hill 2 announced not long ago, the remake, and now 3 more are on the way. I mean, we haven't had any in like a decade. That's a lot of Silent Hill out of nowhere. Joel, stop doing your Airbnb stuff. We're on a podcast.
I can't,
Just
John. Hold on.
stop. Let it go. All right.
okay.
We're going to talk about collectibles.
Dude, I don't care about Silent Hill, John. Who cares about Silent Hill? Old people. Am I old? Yes. I don't
Yes.
care about it. Henceforth, nobody cares about it.
A lot of people care about Silent Hill, but I don't. All right. Collectibles. I got an analog pocket.
You finally
actually,
unboxed it.
I unboxed it and I played it, and this thing is gorgeous.
It's amazing.
I believe we are going to have a kind of review video with Chad at some point in the future, talking
Cool.
about our experiences with the analog pocket whenever we can schedule that and get it set up. So I don't want to talk about it too much, but this thing is amazing, and I am so happy I got it. I also got the dock right away. I didn't have to go third party like Joel did.
Paid a lot of money for this dock.
Yeah, you did.
Don't make fun of me.
A lot more money than I did, probably. How much did you spend on that?
How much is it retail? 100?
100.
I think I paid like 230.
Madness.
Hey, it's better than like giving them 120 of my dollars and then waiting for a year plus. I'm fine with the purchase. I justified it in my head, and that's all that matters, John.
All right.
So yeah.
Do you have any collectibles? If not, what have you been playing?
I guess I could show this. I have an Elite Series 2 core controller. I don't know if I showed this yet.
No,
but
I need one.
I bought this. I bought this kit that has blue buttons on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And it also came with like back paddles. I don't have them on here. I took them off yesterday, but it came with the back paddles for it. I paid like $20 on Amazon. Came with them, and they just made it a fully fledged Elite Series 2 controller, which is nice. Because I love the Elite Series 2, but I noticed my Y button, the back paddle, the bottom left back paddle on my Halo Master Chief one, was kind of sticking or something.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, I really don't want to use that one because it's like very much a collector's item. And I can't, if it breaks, I can't send it in for a new one because they don't have them. So
I need a new one because this one is kind of fucked up now. My dog was playing with her toys and knocked it off my couch, and now the right bumper doesn't work very well. I have to
take it apart.
I don't have that. I'll mess up something. That's just what's gonna happen.
But John, it's already messed up.
I'll mess it up more. Like right now, it's manageable in anything besides Overwatch. Like Overwatch, I can't play with it anymore because there's so many abilities attached to that button. I've been able to get around it so far in other games. All right, Lena, stop. All right, what have you been playing? Tell me about Crisis Core.
I beat it last night. I could have beat it a lot sooner. I think I spent like an extra 5 hours just doing side stuff. I was like at the end of the game and I was like, I kind of don't want it to end yet. I just want to do a bunch of side missions and stuff. So I played like an additional 5 hours doing a bunch of side stuff. But I beat the game. It's awesome. If you like Final Fantasy VII, this definitely adds a lot to that story in terms of it being a prequel to that game. But yeah, I don't know. I think they did a great job remastering it. Yeah, I don't know. It's very cheesy, like I said before. The writing's very corny, but that was 2007, you know. So I'm here for it. It was a different time. It wasn't 2023. I'll tell you that.
It was a different, much better time.
Yeah, but yeah, that game is awesome. I love it very much. It's like one of my favorite games ever. It always has been. And yeah, I'm just so happy that they decided to remaster it. It kind of makes sense with the Final Fantasy VII remakes all coming out, that they would do this one as well. So
Hmm.
it really has me wanting to pay for the Final Fantasy VII remake DLC. I think it's called Integrate.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't have that is because of some bullshit where they added it to one of the PlayStation Plus tiers,
Oh, I remember this.
but
Yeah.
since I bought the game digitally, I cannot I can't play it for free on PlayStation Plus. It's something weird with because I purchased the license, I can't play the PlayStation Plus licensed version of the game, and the only way to play Integrate for free is by using the Final Fantasy VII remake license that's on PlayStation Plus, and so I can't play the free that I technically own. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. So now I have to buy the DLC for Final Fantasy VII remake, which honestly, at this point, I might as well, because like I should have played it when it came out. I just never did. So yeah, AK in the chat says it was worth the $10 or whatever it was. I don't even know how much it was. I think it was 20 or 25.
It might have been on sale recently.
I'm looking it up. I'm looking it up right now.
Look it up. I need to finally play through.
$40?
Oof.
Wait, no. This has to be
That's got
like
to be a
the
bundle.
yeah. It's got to be a bundle.
Kind of
Hold
crazy how
on.
that's not on Xbox yet, right?
Yeah, I don't know why it's not on Xbox. I wonder if like that deal's up or whatever they had going.
Yeah, no. Oh well. I really need to get around to playing that. I have it on PlayStation. I think I bought it. No, no, maybe you bought it.
I definitely bought it.
Oh,
Here's the other thing is like I can't find just the DLC on their website. So it might actually be $40 is what I'd have to pay to play it, which
uh,
is really dumb.
I wouldn't do that. I'd wait for a sale. Um, yeah, I need to get around to playing that. I have been playing Immortals: Phoenix Rising. Like I said a little earlier, I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I really fell hard for that game again. I love that game. But I got to a point where I defeated all the legendary beasts and I took out all the Cyclops. And really, all I have left to do is just like a bunch of side stuff. So I was like, okay, I'm getting a little bored of this now because I was putting like a ton of hours into it every night. I was like, okay, I never played Immortals: Phoenix Rising. It's made by the same people that made Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I'll jump over to that. And this game is it's very much their take on Breath of the Wild. That's all it is. It's pretty good. I haven't fallen in love with it yet. Right now, I am helping Aphrodite, who was turned into a tree, and I'm trying to like get at her essence or something to like bring her back to normal. And it's just okay. Well, okay,
I
it's not just okay. It's a good game. I'm not falling in love with it at the moment.
I think I played like 2 hours total of that game. Um, it's cool. Yeah, I see why it's like Breath of the Wild, but it has similar combat to Assassin's Creed, which I think
Hmm.
is really cool. Just because I like Assassin's Creed combat a lot. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's a cool little game. I wonder how
yeah.
long that game is. I'm not sure.
I would imagine it's got a decent runtime. If I haven't looked it up, but I would guess like 20 hours.
I'm looking it up. Looking it up. Looking it
Look
up.
it up. Look at how long the
Looking it
beats
up.
save us.
Main story 25 and a half hours.
Okay. Yeah.
Completionist 61 hours.
Yeah, that checks out. Yeah, I don't know. I'll still play it here and there. I don't think it's something I'm gonna get like heavily invested in unless I can see like the finish line in sight. Um, yeah. It's a good game. Not
Good
amazing.
game. Good game's good.
Hmm.
The other game I've been playing is Fortnite. Um, I played a bunch this weekend with some friends, and we had a good time. So, I mean, Fortnite is Fortnite, right?
Yeah.
Like they recently came out with a new map. It's pretty cool so far. The new Unreal Engine 5 update looks amazing. Like it actually looks like really really good. Um, but yeah, I've just been having fun with Fortnite. We played 3 games at like 2 a.m. one night, and we won the first two. So
Nice.
that tells you everything you need to know about the people playing late at night. They all suck at video games.
Yeah. I'm not gonna spend much time on this. Overwatch 2. Of course, I've been playing a lot more of it. But I've also been playing Warzone. Warzone 2, I should say. And I still have not won a game in that. I have finished second or
Really?
third so many times. Every single time that our squad gets to that final area, one or two of us dies and we're at a disadvantage, and then we just get wiped. It sucks.
That's how it happens, man.
It's to the point that all of us are just like we're fucking cursed, man. Like we've won so many Warzone 1 games back in the day, but we just can't do it now for some reason.
I've only ever won one Warzone 2 match.
Yeah.
And it was with some people that I met in the Kind of Funny Discord. But yeah, that game, it has its like ups and downs, right? Like right now you're playing it a bunch, but like next week you might not play it for the next month, right?
Yeah.
And then there'll just be a time when one of your buddies is gonna be like, "Hey, let's play Warzone 2," and then you'll play it a bunch for like a week, and then you'll stop again.
Yeah.
Um,
Which is totally fine. At least I
yeah,
wouldn't be playing the Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, which I'm not that crazy about. Um, yeah, I'd rather play the Warzone 2 than Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer.
yep. Well, with that, we are going to end episode 215 of the Pixel Street podcast. Let us know in the comments below what your most predicted game, or what video game predictions you have, what your most anticipated games of 2023 are. Yeah, follow us on Twitter at Pixel Street. Check out the pinned tweet to join our Discord server. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Pixel Street Videos. Search youtube.com/Pixel Street Videos to find all of our unboxings, let's plays, and all that good stuff. John, GamePer.com. Tell me about it.
Well, my Twitter is at Rivik Shadows, but you can also find my writing on GamePer.com. Not a lot happening right now because it's the beginning of the year, so I've been focusing on Stranded Deep, which surprise dropped on Game Pass yesterday, which is it's a survival game. It's fine. It seems pretty cool. Saw the ending for it and that sucked. That thing looks stupid. I won't do that. But it looks like an alright game. Other than that, I'm just kind of doing whatever. Overwatch 2 event tomorrow I will be covering pretty hard. So if you have any questions or need some help on that, be sure to look up Gameper.
Cool. You can find me on Twitter at Campo63 or twitch.tv/Campo63, where I have been streaming, John. I picked up right where I left off in October of 2021 on Psychonauts 1. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. It took me a little bit to recoup my thoughts there on what I had to do. But John helped me out by texting me.
I saw you got into the Napoleon Bonaparte level. Did you finish
I did that.
it?
I finished that. I wasn't a fan of that level. I don't know. I didn't like that too much.
It's
I did
the last few levels of that game are not great. The last one in particular kind of sucks. Not gonna
I
lie.
did the one following that, which was the wrestling one.
The bowl.
Yeah, the bowl. El Odio.
Yeah.
That one was cool. I just thought graphically it looked really cool, like all
that
the
one's
neon
very
colors
pretty.
and stuff. So yeah, I think I'm like really close to the end of the game. So 1 or 2 more streams and I should be done with that.
Yeah, I would say 1 stream if you really commit to it.
But yeah, if you want to check out the VODs for that, that is up on our YouTube channel, Pixel Street Videos as well. So feel free to go check that out. We will be right back here next week with episode 216 of the Pixel Street Podcast.
Bye.